And good morning to everyone. As we start today out, we're starting it out with a bang, so to speak. I've been watching these thunderstorms as they've moved from the west. We've had a big storm pass through the Brandon area, large hail. Maybe you've seen some of the pictures on that. Right now, we've got a thunderstorm warning that has just been issued a few moments ago for Clarke and also Lauderdale County. Now, with all seriousness, as you look at this, the biggest threat is for Clarke County as we look at this. We've got a lot of winds involved with this storm, and we want to show you this. Let's zoom in on this. This is going to be the eastern side of Clarke County as we watch this rain pour across the county. And we've got several areas here. Lisbon, Alabama, y'all need to be a heads up as well as we see that y'all have a thunderstorm warning until 5:15 also. Let's look at this in Clarke County of what we got this morning. If you're in Clarke County, that eastern side, again, it's a thunderstorm warning, but nonetheless, it's a lot of strong winds involved with this. And with thunderstorms, there can be damaging winds as well, and we're seeing this. Let's zoom in on this. As you look here, this is going to be the energy community. All of this area south of energy, we're showing wind shears of 68 miles an hour. 1 mile wide storm, another one here at 58, and a third one in the county at 58 miles an hour. And let's zoom in on this. Here's Clarko State Park. This is going to be Cooper's United Methodist Church as we come across due east of there, and we're going to go north of Shiloh. This is County Road 650 right here. We zoom in here. Let's go up here and just take a quick look here as we get closer to these areas this morning. This is going to be County Road 420 is where this is. If you live in this area here where County Road 420 is, which would be north of Pine Ridge, beware. It's a lot of heavy rain and wind in your area there. Now, we're going to go northwest of there. Here's the Sykes community. Again, just to give you a bearing if you're watching this for the first time this morning from Clarke County, here's Clarko State Park. Here's the Sykes community, and all of this area right in here is what has been getting all of this wind this morning, all of this rain here, all the way up through here. And we've got a lot of lightning strikes with this. 4:30, about 10 minutes ago, we had lightning strikes there, and we also had here in the northern part of this thunderstorm warning here, we had some lightning strikes as we look at this. Now, this is quickly making its way into the Bama side. We got a lot of heavy rain here in southern Lauderdale County out by Wynot. Let's look at this, and then we'll move over here to Alabama to let you know exactly what's going on over there also as we come across. Let's see here. Make sure everything I got there. Yeah, I'd have to have some glasses on to read that small print. What we've got here, right here at the ball field, Causeyville, all of this area here in eastern Lauderdale County has got a bunch of rain coming down. Not the wind that was in Clarke County as we look at this. Look at the difference in between Lauderdale County. This is going to be downtown Meridian. This is that eastern Highway 19 side. And it is rain, but not quite like what y'all have had here in Clarke County. And if we move across here, this is what we want to watch. Gilberttown, Alabama. These areas here, if you're living here on Highway 17 in between Gilberttown, if you're here at Toxie, Highway 17 toward Butler, Alabama, you need to be aware of what's going on. We got a thunderstorm warning that will last until 5:15 this morning, and the sheer winds on this is going to be just north of Toxie. This is 17. This is Hodgewood. We've got 68 mile an hour sheer winds with this storm coming right up on Highway 17 right there. This is going to be 4th Avenue. This is going to be, if I'm reading this right, Buck Creek Road. And again, this is right around Toxie, Alabama, New Hope Road in these areas here. A lot of rain, a lot of wind coming up on y'all. As we go north on 17, right here at Jackson Spur. Look at that. We also got some wind just east of Lusk coming down at 68 miles an hour. But all of this red in this area here west of 17 is heavy, heavy showers here. And as we look at this, this is moving northeasterly. This is due south of Butler, Alabama, and it will be at Pennington in the next 21 minutes as it makes its way across here. A lot of storms with this. Now, we look at this back over here just at the Clarke County line. On the Bama line, this is going to be headed toward Lisbon in the next 13 minutes. If you're in that area, be prepared. And then another one just barely across as we come back across from Shiloh here at Clarke County and move right across that Bama line. Let's look at this. When you zoom in on this, we got some sheer winds of about 68 miles an hour. Now, there's a good chance back down in this area here that we could see some wind damage from trees and things earlier that came down. And while we're here, let me hit a button and let's just check and see if we've lost any power in Clarke County since we've been doing this. Hailing on County Road 420 heavy. Let's see here. In Lauderdale County, we've got, let's pull this up and show you what we've got. And you have to remember what button to go back and hit, don't you? You do. Here we are with EMEPA. In the Meridian area, we got 13 people without power. As we go into the equipment area, and this is, I would have expected more at this point. We got about 7 people in Clarke County without power here. As we look at the list, that's not as many as I was going to think here. 7 there. And 13 in Lauderdale County. And again, that's from the high winds that have rolled through. Again, if you've got it, be careful. Quiet in Union right now it is. How are y'all this morning? Les, glad to see you up today there. Penelope Houston, good morning. Terrible in Meridian, she says, watching from Carthage. We've had some weather in the earlier parts of the morning go through the Carthage area that was extremely heavy. Now, let's turn this off where you can see radar as we watch this. Now, we are seeing this lighten up now in Clarke County. That is a lot better. That's the biggest cell that, as it's come through Clarke County, it's going to be right over here in the edge of Alabama. York, y'all have got a lot of rain. Meridian right now we've got areas of rain. I can hear it pouring outside right now, but nothing like it was. Now, if you look at radar and you see all this purple here, this is hail that has come through the area. Let me go back here and show you this. This was sent in just a little bit ago. Cleve Macbeth sent this to me. The hail that rolled through, let me scroll back down and get this. This was near the reservoir in Jackson, Brandon area. As you look at that, 3:15 a.m. Look how big that is. That's humongous. We had 2 of those. A little over 2 inches on that. That's big. Now, if you don't think that won't tear up a car, trust me on that. We should expect more of this off and on today. The worst of it will be rolling through here in a little bit. We expected this. The big line has not reached us yet. As we zoom back out, let me just show you. We've got a line of storms. As we look back out here to our west, this is what's sweeping this way today. And this has been a pretty good one here. We've got more back out this way as we track the storms this morning. And let's just go north of here. Now, again, we're still watching this Alabama thunderstorm warning here until, let's see here, until 5:15. 20 minutes, 18 minutes remaining on that. Watch all this area here in Alabama. It's running about 58 to 68 miles an hour and a lot of hail with this. Now, if you go over here south of Demopolis, we'll go back up and look at Noxubee County here in a minute. This is pretty ferocious over here. Linden, Alabama. We got any folks over there this morning watching? Y'all be careful. This is one of these storms here. That is, when you turn to that black and purple on radar, you literally cannot see your hand. It's heavy back here, but this is far worse right there. That's on a scale, it's going to remain a thunderstorm, but 58 mile an hour shear winds with that. Heavy rain, and that's going to make its way to Uniontown, Alabama. Been there many, many times, Uniontown. Y'all be ready in Uniontown. If you'll see, here's Demopolis. If you follow it from York all the way over to Uniontown, this is headed that direction. Thunderstorm warning for that area until about 5:15 as well. Now let's go back over across that Mississippi line. York, Alabama, Livingston. Y'all have got a lot of rain this morning as we travel up out of Meridian Highway 45. Not so bad. We got some areas of showers there, but not bad stuff through Kemper County. Then we get here to Noxubee County, and let's look at this. Our friends here in Noxubee County are getting some winds as well. No warnings for Noxubee County at this point, but we do have some wind, 70 mile an hour shear winds with this. And if y'all remember, this is where we had that mobile home destroyed last week, and people were trapped. This is that same area right in here that's getting this wind this morning. Millport, you're going to get this. It'll cross into Alabama out of eastern Noxubee County in the next 30 minutes as we watch these storms. A lot of rain with that. Now, we move over to the Mississippi Delta. This is going to be west. Here's Mississippi State here. We've had a lot of weather back over here this morning also, pouring down rain in those areas. Let me turn off these locations where you can see the big picture of what's going on. North Mississippi, it has seemed worse this morning than it is now. It's starting to break up a little bit in those areas. We've got various thunderstorm warnings all throughout from Vicksburg up through here. We are picking up some more winds. Let's go back down and look at this. Now, they've just canceled the thunderstorm warning for Lauderdale County and also for Clarke County. It still doesn't change the fact of what we've got right here. And we'll take a look at this, and then we'll bow out and let you get back to getting dressed this morning. But let's zoom in on this of where we are here in Clarke County and these winds here. Right there is energy. Let's go northeast of there. Let's go up here and take a look at this. This is going to be Hurricane Creek area. All right, as we zoom in on this, this is County Road 425. And we're showing there 68-mile-an-hour shear winds, and this is a 1-mile wide area. Now, it still doesn't mean that you can't, although the thunderstorm has been lifted, this does not mean that you're still not going to get some winds with this and these old limbs that snap. You know what I mean? Still dangerous if you're in these areas here, and if you're still in the bed and you think, hey, there's a big tree over my head and I live here, it's above my bedroom, move to another room. Get up a little early, have another cup of coffee. Just be prepared for that. Again, the thunderstorm warning has been canceled for there. We still have a thunderstorm warning right across here in the edge of Alabama, and we look at this, and this is going to be until 5:15, Choctaw County, Alabama, and it's raining hard. We got several areas here around Butler that have a lot of wind with this. This is going to be headed to Pennington within the next 20 minutes. We look at these shear winds involved with this. There's one at 68 and another one at 68 also, and a third one just south of Butler. Here's Butler. Let's go south of there, and that's running at 58 miles an hour. If you come due south out of Butler, Alabama, that's South Mulberry Avenue. This is Morgan Chapel. Just due east of Morgan Chapel community is where you're going to see that. That's here's East Pushmataha Street. You go due south of there. Look at that rain. Now, if you're sitting right here over in Butler, look out to the west of you. Look at the rain that is approaching you. Now, always keep in mind, a few years ago, I remember watching, I'd gotten finished with my weather forecast, and it was a guy in North Mississippi tracking weather. And on the radar, it showed where a storm was, and it was a lag of about 40 to 50 seconds. And it hit an area to where he couldn't see it. Always remember with radar, it's close. But if you're right here, and I'm showing these directions, and you live here, go ahead and take that as a heads up. Just because Mother Nature can sometimes outrun what man forecast. You know what I mean? It's close, but sometimes it can be a little quicker than what the radar can shoot back. Just a warning of these areas when you see this. Just always be prepared. Again, as we get here south of Demopolis, these areas here, Linden, Alabama, Thomaston, Alabama, y'all be prepared for this. This is a very serious thunderstorm, although it's just a thunderstorm. And again, we look at this. This is going to run out at 5:15, so you got 18 minutes remaining on this. 60-mile-an-hour winds, and as we'll look at that, it's a little bit worse than what's showing there. It's near Dayton, 7 miles west of Uniontown. Again, a lot of farm country in that area there. Driven through it many times. But as you look at this, look at the sheer amount of winds here. Here's Providence. Here's Linden. It's now due east to Linden, Alabama. That's Half Chance, Alabama. Look at this right here. That's Dayton. Due south of Dayton, if you live in that area there, we've got 68. We got another one here at 68. That's a lot of wind. All of these are clocking at about the same amount of time, miles per hour, just due south of Dayton area. We want you to be careful in those areas. Again, back over on the Mississippi side, it's calmed down a little bit. We still have some winds here in Northeastern Clarke County as we look at that. Right there. We got some winds going across here. Now, we're going to be monitoring all of this throughout these morning hours. And still some wind up in Noxubee County and eastern Noxubee County. We'll be here to watch this. We'll come back live should any of this be a threat to you. Most of all, that's what we want to watch. Let's go back in on this on Clarke one more time here. We got any folks watching from Clarke? I would imagine we do. Yeah, and we do have a tornado watch, as Karen pointed out, until 11 a.m. All this area, let me show you this. Let me turn off radar and show you here. All of this area that is yellow, all of this is tornado watch until 11 a.m. This is Clarke, Lauderdale, as we go up through Kemper, Noxubee, and on up into the Columbus, Starkville area, back over west into Alexandria, Louisiana, Baton Rouge, New Orleans. All of this, tornado watch until 11. But as far as warnings, we're fresh out of those on this side. We still have this right here, and let's zoom in on this in Clarke County, that is making its way just to that Bama state line, more heavy winds. Again, here's Snell right here, and this is Hurricane Creek. This is going to be due south of Hurricane Creek as we come out of here. County Road 425 with a lot of winds right there, 68 mile an hour shear winds. Keep it in mind, if you've got trees overhanging your house or anything like that over a shed, you could have a little damage there. As we get here into Clarke County, Lauderdale County, again, starting at here's Southeast High School, and you follow out Highway 19. You get right past it about where the Boy Scouts is. It's going to pick up rain. A lot of rain out here by Rodney's at Why Not Motorsports Park. And we go south of Highway 19. We look at that. Even over Yantley, Alabama, south all the way to that Clarke County line. A lot of rain, heavy rain. That's where we are this morning at this point in time as daylight breaks here in just a little bit. We'll be here to monitor this for you. And we'll be back should this become anything worse than it is now. We'll be back to tell you about it. Just watch it. Remember, if you're leaving home, you've got to be at work by, say, 6 o'clock. Remember, the streets are very wet. We want you to keep both hands on the wheel. This is those rains that when you come up on it's just Mississippi and Alabama roads. We all know how it has that dip in it. And it'll take the steering wheel away from you. If your tires aren't exactly new, and y'all know what you mean, this day and time you have to get all you can out of them. Drive a little bit slower. If you ain't got all your tread there, they're a lot slicker. You go to stop at that stop sign, they'll slide past it. We don't want any reports of anybody having to be in a wreck by any means. We want you to get there safe. As things as we see here on radar are calming down through Clarke County, that's good. Lauderdale County looking good. Even getting a break there in Noxubee County. West up here in Starkville area, some rain. Looking better. But watch this to the west as these storms come through. Leslie Smith, how are you this morning? It has been bad in Clarke County. It has been this morning. Jamie Smith, calm in Clarksdale now. That's good. Lisa Alexander, good morning. Glad to see you there. Emily Carpenter, good morning to you. Now, schools of what we know at this point. Lauderdale County will make a decision later this morning, and also so will Clarke County. I spoke with them last night. They're going to be making a decision this morning about delays. They're looking at everything right now. As we go here, let me pull up and we'll just quickly go over. It's not a ton of places that are closed this morning or delayed, but there are a few. And let me go over this so you can see this. Again, you can find this at sammedia.network. Closing and delays for today. Patrician Academy is closed today. Demopolis City Schools is going to be learning day, remote, virtual. Sumter County School District, virtual learning day. Jumpstart Coffee is closed today. Choctaw County Public Schools in Alabama, virtual learning days. And as I mentioned, Lauderdale County will monitor this and let us know this morning if they're going to be closing. Kemper County schools have been delayed, and also Kemper Academy has been delayed to a 10 a.m. start, and also the Kemper County School District, 10 a.m. Staff has to be there at 9 a.m. Gives you a little bit of a heads up of what we've got going on. That's the only closing or delays that we know of at this point. If you've got one, you can inbox me on Facebook or email it to ScottyRay1969 at AOL.com. That'll get you through to me. All right, I've kept you long enough here as the warnings have faded out. We'll be back. We'll be back at 6:30 with a complete weather update, if not before. And then we'll be back again at 8 a.m. for a live show as we kick off this morning here. A rainy one. Make sure to grab that jacket. Make sure that you're ready for it. Umbrella day. Better safe than sorry. Leave home a little early. I'm starting to preach to you like your mama now, aren't I? Thank y'all. I'll be back very soon. Thank you for dropping by. We'll keep you up to date with the very latest when it comes to weather.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.